Stephanie Fahey, CEO of Austrade, here with Nicola Watkinson, leading the Americas. Tell me a little bit about what you both do with this great organisation, Austrade.
Well, I think we've got the best jobs in the country. We're here to support Australian exporters and also to encourage productive investment to come into Australia.
So, Stephanie, you might be the boss. Nikki, what a huge part of the planet you're responsible for. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it is a very exciting role that I have, and I have to tell you, Australian companies are finding enormous opportunities, particularly in the US for our tech companies, who are really excited by the growth that they're seeing and the reception that they're finding in the US market.
So Stephanie, you've seen a lot of successful female entrepreneurs really making a go of the export market. What key characteristics come through that give you a sense, yeah, I think this female entrepreneur is going to make a go of this?
Yeah. Well, when I speak to women entrepreneurs and I say, well, how did you come up with your business? And they say, well, I identified this problem. For example, it might be my child had a learning difficulty with maths, so I knew I could do something about this. I wanted my daughter to be successful in maths, so I started to put together these materials, and then my friends' children also needed support, so then I thought it had to go digital, and then look at what happened. It went gangbusters. It went global because a number of other people like me wanted that sort of service. So there are lots of women entrepreneurs who will think of their businesses to satisfy their own need, and then it's easy for them to sell. So I think it's women who feel passionate about their product and that authenticity, and it gives them drive, and they're just unstoppable.
So with your missions that are being so well supported, many women involved there, not only building their own networks and a fraternity of exporting women in the tech space. You were mentioning it's not just about customer introduction, market intelligence, but also some encouragement and guidance around capital raising and the like. That's quite a great toolkit to be offering entrepreneurial women.
Yeah, well, one of the things we did was to really ask the startup community here in Australia, what are the kind of services that you value when you go offshore? And a number of things came up. One was access to venture capital, particularly in markets like the US, which has got deep capital pools, and many companies want to come there in order to tap into that. So we have a great database of venture capital firms. So in New York, where I'm based, we've got a list now of over 300, which is segmented by the kind of things that they invest in. Is it in a particular industry sector? What stage of a company do they invest in? What size of investments do they tend to make? And that really helps a woman founder when she arrives in the market to know who to go to talk to. The second thing they want is access to customers, and through the huge network that we have from the offices we have around the US, we can help these companies to get introductions to some of the major US corporates. If they can snag one of those companies as a flagship customer, raising money and finding their next customer is so much easier. And then finally, the other thing they wanted was access to other people that they could learn from. And so helping them to connect up with different networks, women's networks, founder networks, accelerators, and the whole, gamut of the ecosystem is the other thing that we provide, so that the entrepreneurs can learn from one another, hear the mistakes that other people have made, and then work out how to learn from that and succeed themselves. And that's been one of the great things about working with the Female Social Network.